Today we are going to study about John Calvin and also Anabaptist movement. John Calvin was one of the most important reformers and the person who formulated the systematic theology for the Protestants. John Calvin was born near Noyon, France on July 10, 1509, and he died in Geneva, Switzerland on May 27, 1564. We are not going to study in detail about his life. Instead, we are going to study mainly about the concept that he brought forth or he introduced called predestination. Calvin's theology. His doctrine of God is thoroughly Augustinian, which he considered thoroughly biblical. Like Luther and Zwingli, he viewed God as the all-determining reality and taught God's meticulous providence over nature and history. He saw God as the ultimate cause of everything and taught that absolutely nothing happens or can happen apart from God's determination by his decree. Or, in other words, he said, God is the reason for everything. Everything that happens in this world is according to God, according to God's decree. And the whole system of Calvinist doctrine summarized in the acronym, the short form TULIP, which was developed by the followers of Calvin later. When we study this TULIP, we can understand the theological understanding of Calvin on the issue of election and predestination. God predestined people for heaven and earth, thus heaven and hell, even before the foundation of this world. So this is what TULIP. T. Total depravity. All of us are deprived and fallen short of God's glory. We all sinned. All are sinners. No one is righteous. Total depravity. Then U. Unconditional election. Some are elected for heaven and it is unconditional. We don't know why God elected us and why God did not elect the other person. That is for God. He pleased and he elected. It's an unconditional election. No one can question. And the election happened even before the foundation of the world. Then L. Limited atonement. The atonement sacrifice of Jesus is only for the elect. Only those who are elected for heaven. So limited atonement. Atonement is only for the elect. Irresistible grace. I. Those who are elect cannot resist the grace of God. If you think that you don't need to be part of God's kingdom, it's not possible, because if you are an elect, the grace will come upon you. You cannot resist the grace of God. Then P. Perseverance means once you are saved by grace, then it is preserved forever. There is no going back to your previous life. So T is total depravity, means all are deprived. U. Unconditional election. That means we don't know why we are elected and why our friends are not elected. L is limited atonement, means the atonement is only for those who are elect. And I is irresistible grace. If you are an elect, you cannot resist the grace of God. P is perseverance. That means you are preserved forever. Your salvation is preserved forever. Next group is Anabaptists. The radical Reformation includes all those Protestants of 16th century Europe who believed in the principle of separation of church and state, renounce coercion in matters of religious belief, they rejected infant baptism in favor of believers' baptism or spirit baptism, and emphasized the experience of regeneration by the Spirit of God over forensic justification. So, the main problem with this radical reformers were the relation between the church and the state. In Europe, especially in the Western Europe, when a person takes baptism, he is not just become the member of the church, but he also become the citizen of the nation. So the church and the state are together. But here he said the Anabaptist movement did not want to see church and the state together. And they also rejected infant baptism. Because of that, they started giving baptism to the people who already took baptism at their young age. And on January 21st, 1525, a former Catholic priest turned to Protestant named George Blorock. He met secretly with other radical followers of Zwingli, and they were dissatisfied with the slow, cautious pace of reformation in Zurich. So they wanted a more radical kind of reformation. And two of Zwingli's bright young followers named Felix Manz and Konrad Grebel were among them. After careful thought and prayer, they decided to baptize one another. Refusing infant baptism and rebaptizing persons was illegal because it was considered both heretical and rebellious to the state. Because if a person take a second time baptism, that shows that the first baptism was invalid, and it is against even the law of the land, because a person beget citizenship in a nation in Europe in those days was through baptism. So the first to be so it was considered as a heresy. And the first to be baptized by pouring at that time was Blorock in a fountain in Zurich. He was the first true Anabaptist. Afterward, he baptized Grebel and Manz. So that was the first recorded adult baptism after the Reformation. With the birth of Anabaptism, a new and dynamic religious movement found expression in Europe. The young radicals went around the countryside and towns of northern Switzerland and northern Germany, preaching the necessity of repentance and personal faith before baptism and rebaptizing hundreds of Catholics and Protestants. So they started preaching about repentance and personal faith before baptism, and they started rebaptizing many Catholics and Protestants, those who already took baptism at young age when they were infants. Thank you.